Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And another heavyweight news and note smash up video today, starting with Tyson Fury, who has revealed he was almost retired at the hands of Deontay Wilder. So as we know, Tyson Fury knocked out Deontay Wilder in a back and forth affair in their trilogy fight at the end of 2021, but it was a tough fight according to Fury. So he says, I knocked him out in round 11, but it wasn't just hunky-dory and let's all skip back to the changing rooms. I was feeling the back of my head and I had lumps on the back of my head like fists. I didn't know if I had brain damage. I didn't know what was up with me. I was very frightened because I had these massive swellings on the back of my head. I was thinking I could end up with brain damage. I was concussed. I didn't remember anything. I suppose when you get knocked down like that, you don't remember a lot. I was thinking, did I get put down 4 times? Actually, I got put down twice. I thought to myself, you know what? I think it's time to call it a day. That was after Wilder 3. It was a torrid affair, and there was a lot of back and forth action, knockdowns galore, and a fun fight, especially for those first 6 rounds. So, yeah, Tyson Fury, he ended up going on to fight Dillian Whyte and then announcing his retirement, although fans do believe that Fury will come back for the right fight, particularly for Undisputed. So, revealing statements there from Tyson Fury, and I guess also it's in his interest to also talk up his opponent Deontay Wilder because he wants as much credit for that. But do I believe that he had lumps and all that sort of stuff? Yeah, sure. Deontay Wilder does throw a lot of shots to the back of the head, and Tyson Fury has been accused of that himself. But of a potential next fight, if he does come back, well, Tyson Fury is talking up Anthony Joshua, saying, Anthony Joshua is a house and I'll knock him out. If he beats Alexander Usyk, he's got to fight me for free in England. Free to air TV. It'll be watched by 30 million people for free. No pay-per-view, no money earned. We do this one for the fans of the UK. Free? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, big words and good sentiment, but at the end of the day, these guys know how much money's at stake. Their promoters are not going to be getting them to this point in their careers, which would effectively be the biggest fight of their career money-wise, and then there'd be no money in it for anyone involved. Come on, you're pulling the other one. That's never going to happen, and guarantee Tyson Fury would want, you know, a huge purse himself. What he does with that, his business, but is he fighting for free? You know, forget about it. Come on. That's just talk. He can say whatever he likes at the moment. He is so-called retired. But him and Joshua, if it ever happens, you can bet your bottom dollar this will be out the window and he'll be talking about needing a purse of tens of millions of dollars. The fight between Fabio Wardley and Nathan Gorman, which had been previously ordered for the English title, could be a step closer now that the British Boxing Board of Control has ordered it for the British title. So see here from their latest circular, it says, following Joe Joyce relinquishing the above championship, the stewards decided to approve a request from promoter Eddie Hearn for the English Heavyweight Championship to be upgraded to the above championship. The contest is to take place on a date and venue to be advised. So this fight, again, now ordered for the British title. I hope it happens because I think this is a good fight for both in a couple of senses. For Fabio Wardley, it's a bit of a step up from his recent competition, and we'll get more of an inkling of where he's really at, because Nathan Gorman's fought at a certain level, looked good at a certain level. When he stepped up past a certain level, he's been beaten, and he was beaten up badly by Daniel Dubois. But Gorman does have good skills. He has shown he can box well. I mean, just think going back to the Kamil Sokolowski fight that Gorman fought him a couple of times actually. But the second time, Gorman had a hurt hand and he managed to basically control Sokolowski with one arm. So Fabio Wardley has been a little bit hot and cold. So if this fight happens, it tells us a lot about both, because remembering, Gorman's still working his way back from that Dubois loss. He's got ambitions of his own, and he will think that he's got a good chance against Wardley, who can look good. He's got good reflexes, decent skills for a guy with limited background in the sport. He is a guy that does naturally look pretty good in there, but does blow a little bit hot and cold, can sometimes admire his own work, sort of be in there posturing a little bit. And Nathan Gorman will want to use his skills to I would say this one probably goes to points if Gorman can stand up to Wardley's punches and avoid the worst of it. But it is a good fight, but the question now being, is it going to happen? They're not with the same promoter. It's not a lock. And it could end up being Fabio Wardley versus someone else for the British title next. Because I think this opportunity's there. Fabio Wardley in his next fight will have the British title up for grabs. Who the opponent will be is not clear. At this point, it's ordered to be Gorman. Just because it's ordered doesn't mean it will happen. Trainer Joe Goosen is talking up his new charge, Frank Sanchez, saying, "When I was offered to work with him, I said, yes, sir, right away. I'm very happy to be working with Frank. He's a tremendous athlete. He's a racehorse. Heavyweights are notoriously hot and cold when it comes to training. He's very, very hot when it comes to training. He's coachable. He works hard. There's nothing he won't try or nothing he won't do on top of his already great credentials. He's the type of guy I like working with. He's sucking up new information like a sponge. You show him something once, he gets it and works on it until he perfects it. That's a great quality to have for a fighter who's already talented and proven himself. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship." I guess the question there, he says Sanchez has proven himself. Yeah, at a certain level. But he's sort of on the cusp of needing those bigger tests and ready for a sort of top 15 sort of challenge in the heavyweight division. Problem now is he going to get it? Remembering he's promoted by Ural Boxing and Warriors Boxing. He's been on Canelo cards in recent years. He's been on PBC cards. He's been on Top Rank cards. His best win against FAR Jugba, where he dominated him, dropped the Jugba in that one, and made a Jugba scared to throw his right hand for fear of what was coming back. But he is one of those who needs him type boxers. And potentially, if he's sort of on the outside looking in, on the promotional sense, that maybe he's not on the inside track for a big fight, he could end up sort of waiting and watching and sitting on the sidelines waiting for something to happen that may take longer than he really wants it to. A la, I think Joe Joyce is potentially in that situation a little bit too. So it's going to be interesting for what next for Frank Sanchez, because clearly the guy is talented, he's going to be a hard out, and no one's going to be stepping up and volunteering going, yeah, I want that guy, because he is an awkward style matchup for pretty much most guys. Richard Torrez, who's coming off a win just over this past weekend, will be going for his third win in the heavyweight division of his pro career when he returns Saturday, August 27th. So this announced immediately after his win this past weekend where he stopped Roberto Zavala. So he'll be on the August 27th card at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He will be facing Marco Antonio Canedo. So probably another prospect level win there for Torrez coming up. But of the quote from Torrez, he says, "I want to thank Top Rank for keeping me active and giving me the platform to showcase my talents. Every fight is a learning experience, and I can't wait until August 27th in Tulsa." Well, let's hope that the referee doesn't maybe jump in as quickly, because his opponent, Roberto Zavala, was a little bit miffed that he hadn't been really hurt or buckled or dropped, but the referee, after a couple of unanswered punches, jumped in. And we're not talking like a 20-punch combination. He just sort of stepped in there and said, no mas, no more. So make of that what you will. And rounding out this heavyweight news and notes mashup video, so Filip Hrgovic currently training in Houston, so he's working with his new trainer Ronnie Shields, and I quite like that link up. I think that after those years with Pedro Diaz, he'd gone away from some of the amateur style, which probably would have held him quite in good stead in the pros with those sort of silky skills that he had demonstrated at times. He'd gone away from that and seemed to have fallen in love with his right hand, tried to become a big power punch, trying to knock everyone out and getting a little bit predictable. And let's face it, at the higher level, he needs to have a little bit more sort of mystery in his arsenal rather than just trying to go for a right hand, because that will see you come a cropper at some point. So I like the link up with Ronnie Shields, but training there, training hard. It's expected he's going to be on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk in Saudi Arabia. Yet to be announced, so we shall see. But I do like the link up of Shields and Hrgovic. What do you make of that? Drop a comment loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.